Welcome back. Our guest, we were discussing with him about the sociology of Bangladeshi migrants in UK, particularly from Italy. We are going to do that too. You wanted to take a step back and talk about your journey.
Yes.
Not journey from Birmingham, but journey of life.
Yes, of course. I like to call it journey because I was saying I make a journey within the Bangladeshi diaspora in Italy with many experience meeting many interesting people. I make a journey through the memories of my interviewees because I ask them to tell me about their life from when they were child until now that they became father and Italians. And so it's a journey in their memories, but it's of course a journey through continents because for my research I've been to Bangladesh, and I went to Bangladesh passing through Saudi Arabia, where I spent one night in an hotel there were so many Bangladeshi working there, I talk also with there, so it's been also a geographic journey. Then I make a journey through the different style of being man, of being father, of being husband. But as I ask them to tell me about their life, about their childhood, I try to analyze their experiences through my experiences. So I try to think of being in their position, and I start to think about my life, my childhood. So it has also been a reflexive journey within my life. So it's like a journey in many different dimensions for me. And it is a journey that is still going on.
Continues.
Yeah.
Just a brief word about your two books.
Yeah, I wrote two books. One book
was about the movement of men, isn't it?
No, it's the Italian title is Uomini in Movimento. That means men on the moon. On the move. Men on the move. But this movement is, of course, as the journey, a movement from Bangladesh to Italy, but also a movement within themselves. I mean, they change as men from Bangladesh to Italy. They leave Bangladesh and they were a kind of person, and they arrive in Italy and they are a completely different person. And their experience changed also the experience of the one who stay in Bangladesh, who left behind in Bangladesh.
Their own families.
Yeah. So the movement is also an internal, a reflexive movement. So the title on the move means geographical migratory movement, but also reflexive movement for this man.
And the other book?
The other book, it's more a book focused on the transformation of that small town we were talking about, Al Ceccato, a transformation due to this big Bangladeshi community that established here, that changed face to this town. Now the schools are full of children, of Bangladeshi children. The square that some years ago were like a desert, now they are vibrant and full of people because Bangladeshi come. So it's about transformation of a small town, local town, through by a global phenomenon like migration. Local town, but global, a big phenomenon like migration.
How effective or how successful is integration there?
Well, there's some good example of integration, but I think these example of integration are bottom-up. I mean, they are integration and interaction between the people, mainly between parents of children that share the same school, or people that live in the same house that help each other, or especially people that work on the same workplace.
Just one question. What sort of housing do they have? They have flats or they have houses?
They have mainly flats
Mainly
in
flats,
building.
yes. Then it's easier to mix, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes. Those flats is interesting because once upon a time there were the flats of migrants from south of Italy to north of Italy. Then these migrants leave this town for other places, and now they became the houses of other type of migrants, not from south of Italy, but from south of the world to Italy. So houses in which globalization used to live, we can say.
It's flourishing.
Yeah.
So I'm coming to the other aspect to see. A lot of Bangladeshi origin Italians, they have moved to United Kingdom.
Yeah.
And the process is still on, see. There are good and bad reports, but I'm not going into that at the moment. Is it an indication of the failure of integration?
It depends from what we.
If it were for some small numbers, I would say there may be many factors to see, but large numbers coming over here.
I was telling that it depends from what we intend from integration.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. A lot of Italian Bangladeshi are coming from Italy to UK, mainly to London, or to Londoni, as many Bangladeshi say. They use the passport not as an element of stabilization in Italy, but as a key of movement within European Union and to establish in another European country. But I mean, European Union push citizens to move within his boundary between the countries, or the European countries. So sometimes I think Italian Bangladeshi are more European than the native European. So it's a very good integration, very important integration.
Yes.
But I think that Italy have to make a lot of questions about its society, about its system. If so many foreigners, if so many migrants that after having spent like 15 or 20 years in Italy prefer to move in another country, something has went wrong in Italy.
There is something, otherwise why would people move? So
Yeah.
they have left their own country, chosen one country, and after having obtained a passport or whatever, see, reasons after 10, 15 years, they move on, see. It doesn't look A-okay, see. There must be some reason, see.
Yeah.
And there must be some very compelling reason, because people don't want to continue the movement, see. It's very difficult. If you are going on a job, see, you're visiting professor here, then it's okay. You know that 6 months, 6 years, you'll be back again to your own environment, see. But then the continuous process of movement is not natural.
It's like...
We are not migratory birds.
No.
We move in winter and then come back in summer.
I prefer to talk about immigrant than migrant, because immigrant means that people want to establish in the country in which they went. Actually I'm here in UK because I would like to study this phenomena, why Italian Bangladeshi are moving in London. There are so many. I met so many persons from Alta Ceccato living in London.
Yes.
And two chapters of my book is called Migrant in Italy, but Citizen in Europe, because they became citizens and they moved to Europe. And the reasons, there are many reasons, many aspects. I think the main reasons is because of the future of their children.
Yeah.
They prefer to stay in a country in which the official language is English, sometimes because in Bangladesh people can understand English, but especially because for the future, not just because they look back, but because they look forwards. And English is a language that open all the door of the world. Then because they invest in better opportunity for their children. Here in UK there's more job opportunity. And then because they feel, in my opinion they were right, that in Italy, that is a recent country of immigration, a child of a migrant, even he's got Italian citizenship, even if he went to Italian school and university, he always remain a migrant, a foreigner for the society. Italian society is not used to have a multicultural society. So things will change, of course, but for this generation will be dramatic to...
It will be very difficult to integrate.
Yeah, to integrate, because they perceive that the society think they are foreigners. While in UK there's a long tradition of immigration, especially from the Indian subcontinent. It's normal to find a Bangladeshi doctor, or a Bangladeshi deputies, or a Bangladeshi professor at the university. Why it's not normal in Italy? So those people dream the realization of their children, and this realization is possible in UK, but it's quite difficult in Italy. So those people spent their whole life struggling, not for themselves, but for the future generation.
But would you consider this a failure of the immigrants or the migrants? Or failure of the Italian society to accept them?
I think it's not a failure for the migrants. It's a success for the migrants, because, you know, UK has always been seen as a dream for generation of Indian, Pakistani and Bengali people. Is the core of the British Empire. British Empire exploited the Indian subcontinent, but it's also seen as a dream.
But so is Italy. I mean, you have a wonderful football team. You produce Ferrari, Maserati, Lamborghini.
Yes.
Yeah. Milan is the fashion capital.
I think that
you had Sofia Loren.
I think that it's mainly a failure for Italy, that is losing a lot of integrated, skilled workers, integrated family, one of the best part of its society. And I think, yes, we are famous for cars and actors, but now we are a country in crisis, economic crisis, but also social and political crisis.
Is the Italian government and you as social workers and sociologists aware that there is a bit of dark area of people from Italy or Bangladeshi origin with EU passport are coming here and trying to use unfair means to get benefits? I mean, I've got two reports, 25th of May, Daily Mail, and Daily Express, 26th of May. And 13 persons were arrested. There were so many organizations that were involved, so-called charities, not real charities.
Yeah.
And one flat was used by 400 persons as the address to get benefits, you see. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I read some article on the newspaper because it's a topic in which I'm interested in, so I try to get information. Yeah, I have to say it could happen. It happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just a drop in the sea.
Yeah.
We mustn't generalize, because I know that Bangladesh.
There are many hard workers there.
Yeah, Bangladeshi migrants in Europe, in Italy, in UK, they are hard workers. They want to improve their condition and the condition of their children. And sometimes in Italy they are excluded from the welfare. And so I think, yeah, it could happen, but we have not to generalize.
Well, thank you, Dr. Francesco. It was a pleasure welcoming you. Please be seated. And I'm sure that your sociology project will flourish, and you will have more to share with us in times to come.
It will be
Thank
a
you,
pleasure
viewers, for being with us, and it was a pleasure talking to Dr. Francesco Della Puppa. He has his own views about migrations, and we have benefited a lot. I hope that you enjoyed the show as much as we have. Same time, same channel next week with another distinguished guest. See you then. Take care.